It is now Cletus McFarland's. Alright, buddy. I think it's time. You've done a really good job for me. I appreciate it. So, it's time to start taking you out. Well, you saw us just pull my engine out of my car. You didn't see me just go through it and make sure everything is okay. Everything's all good. Let me show you what's going on with it now. It is now Cletus McFarland's. Now, you may ask, how come you didn't get a brand new one? Well, the deal is I can't get a brand new one done fast enough. I can't get one done fast enough. So, the only way I could get Cletus a SMX was to sell him my used, my personal SMX. Now, this engine right here is a bad mother trucker. I promise you it is. It is very fast. And it is very good, but it is used. Take a look at any of these videos. This is what we call the scratch and dent sale also. I have damaged this engine. This is not brand new. Go look at the videos over here. You'll see the Mass Exodus rods. Does not have those rods in it again, obviously. Don't even ask that kind of question. Obviously, and this has been running. We ran for until we ran out of chassis parts in the wagon this year at Sick Week. Engine was perfect, but ran out of chassis parts. Just couldn't keep on going. And so now, when you put this back together, this has a damaged block, or remachined block. There's a little bit of damage here and there, but it's like I would call this like a Bugatti Veyron engine that somebody smashed the front fender. It's still a Bugatti Veyron. It just has a smashed fender, right? This is still an SMX. It just has some damage along the block, cosmetic stuff, nothing of any consequence, but it is not brand spanking new. So that is how but it's something that I can't sell to the average Joe either. So it is a used motor. It has a little bit of damage here and there, but it is all cosmetic, and this thing is going to be bad. So if you want to see every single thing about this thing, just continue watching, because you're going to see the complete buildup of when I built this for myself here a couple months ago. So let's go over a few things here because I got to bolt everything all together. For Cletus, this is what you must do. Okay. I already talked to you. You need 1,000 pounds per hour of fuel per runner. So you need two 550s right here, period. I left my drive injectors here because it's too much of a hassle pulling the intake manifold off just to put your drive injectors on it. And you can get in here and you can connect out all of the lines and everything, not a big deal. You can hook up your street drive fuel exactly the same as what it was, no big deal. This is the drive spud for the fuel pump. I gave you the part number for this fuel pump right here. This fuel pump will go on, band clamp on, go into the drive spud. When you're not racing it, you take the drive spud out, you put the fuel pump back on, and it just doesn't spin it. When you want to race it, you put the drive spud in, race it. Even sending this thing with the alternator off of the wagon. So this thing has a mount. You'll put your front motor plates on here that are going to fit mullet. Even have an alternator with serpentine belt on it. Have the oil pump here. Oil pump issues. Now, come over here, look at the side of the block. You have high mount turbos. You can use any one of these three holes for oil drain back for your turbos. Any ones that fit. Okay? These two lines need to go to the dry sump oil pump. This line is oil in. So it goes these two lines here. Go to your dry sump oil pump here. These two fittings, all right, actually these two fittings go to your oil pan. This fitting here, well here, let's go back, sorry. These go to your oil pan. This big fitting goes to your dry sump tank. This fitting right here goes to your oil filter. This fitting here goes to the bottom of your dry sump tank. So this is oil out to the tank, oil in from the tank here, out to the filter, over to here to the engine. Okay? In your oil filter mount, you want to have a oil pressure gauge in the oil filter. All right? Now, very important, cylinder heads. I also drain the cylinder heads from here down to one of these three ports in the block. That way it drains the cylinder heads when you take before you take the valve covers off. So this port and this port need to go to one of these ports on the block. Okay? Now, the very important part here is one of these or both of these cylinder heads have to have scavenge oil. So you're going to run a line over to here, run it in a T, and run it down to this pressure this suction section right here. All right, so you're going to scavenge the oil out of the heads, and you're letting it drain out of the front of the heads when it's all shut down. Very important. The way the water system is designed into the cylinder heads is it will hold oil up here if you don't scavenge oil. Okay, so you have to have scavenged oil right here. That's what the fittings are in the block for. I'll give you a couple fittings, or actually you probably got to put your own fittings in because it's going to be tight. Let's also talk about the water lines. Now, this is water in, water in, water in, water out, water out, water in, water in, water out, water out. So what you're doing here is there is no water that crosses between the cylinder head and the block. If you ever did blow a head gasket, it will not spray water because there is no water there. So it is 4 individual waters in, 4 individual waters out. All right, you're going to put your old motion throttle bodies on here. Motion 102 throttle bodies, the same ones I had on. Fuel pump will go to the filter will go up to the fuel lines. Return lines back here go to your fuel tank. 90 psi base. Well, that's a little tune-up information, don't worry about that, but you do have to have 24 gallon per minute pump on this engine. Now, yes, this engine is a bad hombre. This engine will take probably pretty darn close to all your bald eagles. All right, but if anything is wrong, when you give it, the more horsepower you give this stuff, the more bald eagles and boost you put into this thing, the more sensitive it is if anything goes wrong. If an injector comes unclipped, burned up jump. If your fuel pump comes undone, a leak, a blowed line, burned up jump. It will instantaneously, at these horsepower levels, anything goes wrong, it will be burned up jump. Period. It will hurt parts faster than you can pull back on the throttle, faster than you can let off the gas. All right, but in general, this is proven drag and drive, 4,000 plus horsepower. It'll take all the pressures. So it's a good deal. It's my own personal engine, and I'm also sacrificing because I can't. Not only can I not build a Cletus a brand new engine, I can't build myself a brand new engine either. So me letting this go means I'm potentially could miss some stuff. So it's going to put a little bit of stress on us, but it's worth it. I want to get Cletus and Mullet to have something really good, really bad, that is going to take all the bald eagles, all the boost. And as long as they're on it and diligent, tune-ups are really good. You're going to have to really work on traction control, a lot of that other stuff. But this thing's bad. So we're going to bolt this all the rest of the way together and send it down to you. So take care of my baby. I'm Steve Morris. Have a great day.